Back in the Anglers Extra pregame show, and well, John Schiffner just talked about his mustache and answered every single question we ever wanted to know. And now we're here with Travis Beausoleil, the third base coach for the Chatham Anglers. Travis, good to see you. One, you don't have a mustache. You do have a decent beard, though. Could you ever grow a mustache?
I don't know, but the pregame shows are getting late in the season, and we're talking about everybody's facial hair. So, no, I could grow a mustache, but I choose to, I don't keep the uptake that Schiff has. So.
Now, you have quite the connection, not only to John Schiffner, but to the Chatham Anglers. Cliff Notes version, what is those stories?
Well, Cliff Notes, it's with Schiff. I played for Schiff in high school, 2000, 2004 at Plainfield High School, and my All-American year at Avery Point, he was gracious enough to bring me up here as a temp and played here in 07 and came back last summer as a hitting coach.
How did that process come up, coming back here?
He asked me a couple times, and just with recruiting it was difficult, and last year we had a simple recruiting class, a smaller recruiting class, so I was able to get up here because it is a grind, it's a long summer, and to give as much as we want to give to these guys, it's a long, strenuous summer, but it was great. I was able to come up and spend the summer and couldn't turn it back down to come back again. So.
You mentioned recruiting. You're head coach at Mitchell College, and one of your players, Marcus Melendez, is actually the bullpen catcher this year for the Chatham Anglers. What has that experience been like for you?
It was good. I mean, we keep our distance. We're not allowed to work with him. I'm not allowed to work with him, so we keep our distance. But he does his thing. He's doing an internship up here, which is the only reason he's able to actually be up here. He's doing a communications internship with you guys, and I thought it was a great experience for him to see. He really wants to do what you guys are doing behind the camera and behind the mic. And as a college guy, there's not a better place to be here than Chatham.
You mentioned your time here in Chatham as a temporary player. What do you remember from that experience?
There's a lot of memories on the field. There are definitely a lot of memories off the field, some that I most likely cannot share. But
it is a family show.
It is, yeah. And Dan Duva was a part of many of them. But it was just the camaraderie, just being with those guys. And now for me, being a temp guy who's overmatched up here, seeing my teammates up playing pro baseball, Kyle Seeger, Tommy Malone, those Chatham Anglers, and now the Chatham Anglers that you didn't even play with are still up there, and just knowing that you have the connection of being Chatham guys with them, it's special. It's a special place.
You mentioned being a temporary player and feeling overmatched up here. You serve as the third base coach, the hitting coach. Do you have words of consolation for guys who come up here and struggle more than they ever have in their baseball career before?
Well, the first thing that I try to give them when they come up here is say, listen, fellas, you'll get all the help that I can give you, that our coaching staff will give you, if you do two things. Hustle. Work your butt off. Hustle. Don't ever give a bad 90. Work your butt off. But the second one is handle failure. They're using wood bats, which most of them haven't used consistently. You're talking about the best pitchers in the country, day in and day out, both relievers and starters, guys that they haven't seen. And then you're talking about the best defenders in the country. And that part gets overlooked. You got three shortstops that could be playing the infield. You got three center fielders that could be playing left, center, and right. So they need to handle the failure. And I think this year's team, I know the batting average isn't great, but they've done that. They keep coming out every day and working hard. And I would say that's what we have to give them is, keep working hard, keep accepting failure, and you'll be okay. You'll figure it out.
And you have started quite the tradition with Jake and I this season. Before every game, you give us a random word to fit into the broadcast. Some of them we've gotten, some of them we just haven't because they're utterly ridiculous. How do you come up with these words to give us?
I asked some of the guys, but mostly I just come up with random words. Some funny, some, difficult to say, some with an awful definition, but I will say the only thing that might be lower than our team batting average is your average is getting them into the broadcasts. But it's all about effort and handling failure, Evan, and I'm glad you're doing that.
Travis Beausoleil not only mentors the hitters but also the broadcasters. By the way, this year he gave me whiff and poof. I got that in the broadcast. That is my proudest moment of the year.
Whiff and poof is easy, though. There were some gimmies that I thought you could have gotten. You just need to lock in a little bit more.
Well, we have a few games left in the regular season, possibly games in the playoffs. I will lock in the rest of the way. Travis Beausoleil, catch of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, boys. It's been a good summer.
Jake, back to you.